Now I'm going to explain why seeing 33 everywhere is a very, very bad thing. This starts about a year ago, and I was walking at work, patrolling in a parking garage. And then I felt a nanobot go into my left bicep, left quad, right quad. So they put nanobots in me, and they feel a certain way. Keep in mind, I was just walking. So I felt the nanobots go in me, and didn't really think much of it. So fast forward a couple months, I see 33 everywhere. On my drive home, it's everywhere. And so I texted, it freaked me out. So I texted Sarah Adams. I said, what does this mean? And she said, that means that the computer that simulates this reality, the Boaz computer, is reading your mind. But what she didn't really explain was the totality of it, because she didn't really explain that it was a bad thing. For example, when I asked a cyborg what seeing 33 everywhere meant, he said that it's an undeclared initiation, which is a half which is a half truth. The full truth is that seeing 33 everywhere means that you are so divergent that the computer is now working against you. And now I'm going to give you absolute proof on why that is. Back in August, it was a Saturday, and I don't go into work until 7 p.m. on Saturdays. So I get a call from this new guy at 4 p.m. saying, oh, my stomach hurts, can you come and relieve me early? So I come in and relieve him early. And remember, I wasn't supposed to be there till 7, so I would usually leave at 6-ish. So I go relieve him early, and this is where the chain reaction starts. So he calls me, says, come relieve me. So I said, okay, hang up the phone. It's like, 4:33 or 3:33. I don't remember the exact time, but it was a 33. So it's either 3:33 or 4:33. So I get off the phone with him. It's like 3:33 or 4:33. Then I go to work. And then the FBI calls me and questions me. So as soon as I hang up the phone with them, it was like 5 minutes and 33 seconds long. So at the time I thought it was like the 33 was like a good thing, but it's not. And here's why. On December 22nd, I was finishing the end of my shift. I was reading the TBT, which is a free tabloid here in Florida. So I was reading the sports section, and it said the number of the day is 33. And then about an hour later, I was taken to jail by the FBI, and I can't get into the case. I've already told some of you about what it was for and the details. It's nothing. It's basically they're accusing me of recording their voice and uploading it to YouTube, because you have to have someone's consent before you upload it to YouTube. But the thing is, you have to understand that that's extremely petty. facing a third-degree felony, and it's really petty, but because I'm divergent, that's why. And see, this is how the 33, the computer, sets it up. I also saw 13 that day I got arrested on December 22nd. I'm seeing 13 that day too, but that's the my ancestors balancing my energy because they knew that I was gonna have a bad day that day. So that was so the 13 everywhere is your ancestors balancing your energy. And here's the thing: when they put me in the police car and drove me to jail, I was in such a deep state of meditation, and then it dawned on me that one of the nanobots in my bicep went off. And so basically what I'm saying is, 8 hours before I was arrested on December 22nd, I was patrolling the parking garage, and I felt a nanobot either activate or get put in or get taken out, one of the three, in my left bicep. So that means that the Adjustment Bureau, or aliens, or whatever you want to call it, they knew what was going to happen before it happened. So they activated some sort of nanobot in my left bicep. What it's doing, I don't know. So that's why seeing 33 everywhere is a bad thing, because if that guy called me, and that guy, let's turn back time. If that guy called me, and actually, if that guy hadn't called me and hadn't told me that his stomach hurts, then I would have never gotten that call from the FBI, because I would have been home to answer the door and talk to them, and there never would have been a phone call. So basically, I'm facing a third-degree felony because the guy at work, his stomach was hurting. That's the chain reaction of 33s. That's the best the computer can put on me. And by the way, I don't have any priors. That other one you saw of me never went to court. So basically, bottom line is that there's no reason why this shouldn't wind up in pretrial intervention or getting reduced to a misdemeanor. So I should be able to get my job back once I either get PTI or this drops to a misdemeanor. And here's another good example of how either the computer or the Adjustment Bureau starts working, is because my immediate reaction was that I was going to represent myself in court as a sovereign citizen, and I was going to use the argument that I am not my straw man, that I'm not my name in all capital letters. And I have a list compiled of ways to not create a joiner, which means that to not put myself in their jurisdiction. And I was hell bent mentally on representing myself in court, and then completely commandeered by the computer. My father practically begged me to let him purchase lawyer services for me. You see how this is working? As soon as I say, hey, I'm going to rep myself, my father completely paid for the whole thing. You see how it works? Because the computer knows that I know how to get off. But it won't let me get off. The computer will keep fighting back. So if I was steadfast in my decision and I kept saying, hey, I'm going to rep myself, my father would never shut the fuck up. He would only shut the fuck up if I let him get a lawyer for me. And the other thing is that if I went to court and repped myself and made my argument that I'm not in their jurisdiction, I would be 100% correct. But the problem is the judge won't let you be correct. I know exactly what would happen. The judge would say, okay, state your given name. I would say, the first thing out of my mouth would be, I invoke my rights under common law, and my straw name is Jordan Womble. And then the judge would say, blah, 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 and I would say, I'm here to only argue jurisdiction, nothing else. I'm only here to argue jurisdiction, and I am a living soul, and I am not Jordan Womble. And then the judge would stall, and he would enter a plea for me, and then it would go to trial. And the same thing would happen again, and the judge would have a continuance. The same thing would happen again, and then it would just keep going on and on and on forever. Because remember, technically you are right, but you can't be right, because the judge won't let you can't be right, because remember, it's off-world. The control on this planet is off-world, so you can't, if they can't let you walk away scot-free, because the whole courtroom is listening, and they're gonna see that you got away scot-free by saying that you're not your name. They cannot at any cost let that happen. That's why the sovereign citizen thing, it should work, but it doesn't work. Matter of fact, here's how you get your charges dropped. Remember, this should work, but they won't let it work. And this is called not creating a joiner. A joiner spelled A-D-J-O-I-N-E-R. First of all, you do not sign in to court. Second of all, you address the judge as the magistrate, not the judge. When called by the magistrate to state your name, you're going to say that you invoke your rights under common law, and that you're not your straw man, that you're not your name. Never say, I'm Jordan Womble. You're never going to say that. You're going to say that you're a living soul. So listen to me. Court is for titled persons. A living soul has never been tried in court. Only titled persons, only defendants, which is the title, are tried in court. There are no living souls tried in court. You never enter a plea. If the judge asks you, where do you live? You're not going to say that you live in Florida. You're not going to say that you live in the United States. You're going to say that you live inside your body, because you're not putting yourself in their jurisdiction. However, you can also say that you live in the Moroccan Empire. That's also acceptable. But if I were you, I would say that you live inside your body. Also, you should all know this by now, you are never going to say that you understand. If the judge asks you if you understand, what he's asking you is that you understand his jurisdiction. So you do not understand. You never say, I understand. And eventually, the judge will get sick of hearing you say that you're not your straw man. So if you want to switch it up and say something new, ask him for a delegation of authority order. A lot of you are saying to yourself, geez, Jordan, what's a delegation of authority order? A delegation of authority order is the expressed written permission of the Moroccan Empire for the fraudulent court to do business. Of course, obviously, the Moroccan Empire never authorized the judge to do business on their land. That's why when you ask for a delegation of authority order, they cannot provide a delegation of authority order because the Moors never gave them one. The Moors never gave the United States permission to do business on their land. That's why the court is a fraud. So when you ask the judge for a delegation of authority order, he's going to be like, oh shit, this person really knows what the fuck they're talking about. And yes, you will. Remember, you don't understand. You never say that you're your name. You never sign in. If you're asked where you live, you say you live inside your body. This is all about not creating a joiner. And if you see 33 everywhere, things are going to turn out bad for you. Luckily, I have Big Brother watching me. Yes, Gutu is Brother Gutu. Gutu has his brothers out there who have a vested interest in Gutu being on television. Hi guys. Oh, you taught Brother Gutu so well. And oh, they have no idea. They have no idea who they're messing with. It's funny. So, by the way, the only other person I know who sees 33 everywhere is the guy in Bulgaria, and he is fucked because he has pancreatic cancer. So that's what happens when you see 33 everywhere, is that you start the process of becoming an inmate for life, or you get pancreatic cancer. So if you do not see 33 everywhere, then you are not divergent enough to see 33 everywhere, and you are not a threat. So all you people who understand what I'm saying, leave the disclosure to the professional. I am a professional disclosure agent, artist, man. So what I'm saying to you is, don't be brave. I'm the brave one. I am calculatedly brave. Leave the braveness for me. You run. Remember, I'm Neo. I can fight the agents, metaphorically speaking. You can't, because you weren't trained enough. It's not your life purpose. It's my life purpose. So, I mean, you can go to court if you ever get in trouble and say what I just said about not creating a joiner, and you should be fine. But remember, they won't let it work. It should work, but they won't let it happen. Unless you have like a last name that starts with W, X, Y, or Z, and you're one of the last people called in court, and there's no one else in the courtroom to witness what you're about to say. That's probably the only way it's going to work, is if there's no one else in the courtroom. If you have a first name that is like A through F, forget about it, because everyone in the court's going to hear what you just said. Remember, 33 everywhere is a bad thing. When they took me to jail, I saw 33 everywhere, and I mean everywhere, more than ever before.